The challenge that we're going to do next for the Beat Pete is leg lifts. And this is the Kriya set that we're going to do that will going to help you to get to the goal of the leg lifts. Again, I'm not going to tell you how many we're going to do. We're going to save that for the day, but this will help you get through this. And what this is strengthening what's called your navel point. Now, even though we're going to be activating our abdomen muscles, this has got more to do with learning how to control your navel point. Now, I've got my two favorite people in the whole world here. I've got my son, I've got my daughter, and they have no idea what's in store for them. So, they're just as new to this as what you're going to be. So, again, what we're looking to do is get you to activate your navel point, because when you can understand that your strength comes from your chin to your belly button area, and if you can unite these two things, you can do a whole lot with your body, and that's what we're going to learn with this set right now. So let's tune in, rub your hands together, everybody. I'm going to tune in with the Adi mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. We say this aloud 3 times prior to the beginning of every Kundalini Kriya or meditation. So rub your hands together. And now place them with your thumbs into the center of your chest. Sit tall, chest out, chin in. Relax your eyes, close them, take in a long, slow, deep breath, pause the breath at the top, and then exhale, and then inhale deep again, long and slow, exhale, and now we inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deep. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Om Last time, inhale deep. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Now inhale deep and hold the breath. Exhale. So, we're just going to get right into this. Now, I'm not going to be doing this. I'm going to be demonstrating with them how to do it. Now, both of them are very strong people, but not flexible at all. Either one of them, okay? But they're very strong and they're willing. So, with this, I'm going to give little tidbits here and there on how you can achieve success with this. So, again, I'm not going to be doing this with you. I'm going to demonstrate with them. So everybody get ready. You're going to lie down on your back. So this first one that we're doing are leg lifts. So we're going to do leg lifts, and we're going to do it. I'm going to time us. We're going to do it for 3 minutes. Let me get the timer up here. So now guys, what you're going to do, you're going to start with your left leg. So you start with your left leg, and you're going to bring your left leg, as you inhale, you're going to bring your left leg up to 90 degrees. Your arms either by your side, or if you need help with your lower back, you put your hands underneath, underneath your buttocks, like my daughter just did, like Jess just did. So that's a great way to start doing this, by the way, is with your hands under your back, because it'll protect your lower back. Eventually, you'll have enough strength in your core navel point that you'll be able to do it without the hands there. So, for 3 minutes, guys, start lifting your left leg. So, inhale your left leg up to 90 degrees. Inhale, and then exhale, bring it down. And then inhale the right leg up. So, and you just keep doing this, right? Inhale. This is all through the nose. And this is meant to be long, slow, deep breathing. So this is not a fast movement. This is a slow movement. So just keep inhaling as the leg comes up, exhale as the leg goes down. And what you want to do is you want to focus on your navel point here. That's where you want this pull to come from, not using your legs. You want to try and understand that that's coming from your navel point. If you can get that to come from the navel point, that's what we're trying to accomplish, is learning how to use that. Now, if you're having trouble getting your legs up tall, the leg that's on the ground, if you push the heel into the ground, that's going to help you raise that leg. So you guys try that. So use the strength of the leg that's on the ground to try and raise the other leg. Is that a little easier?
Yeah, I can push it further.
Yeah. So that's using your strength. That's using your strength to gain more flexibility. But again, you need to focus. You need to focus on your belly button area so that you can activate the navel center. Keep going. Inhale all through the nose, exhale through the nose. Push that other heel into the ground. Even squeeze your buttocks. Even if you squeeze your buttocks of the leg that's on the ground, that'll also help bring your leg up. Less than a minute to go. Keep going. Keep going.
Am I winning?
There's no winning in this. This is just learning your navel point. You guys are both doing it. So again, try to focus your breath at your belly button area. That's what's making this movement happen. Just a few more seconds. Okay, now inhale both legs up to 90 degrees, best you can. Inhale them both up, hold the breath tight. Squeeze, exhale, relax the legs. Relax, relax, relax. So we're going to take just a minute here to just relax. So again, the idea with this, as the leg comes up, try not to use the power of the quads, but try to kind of like hollow out your belly button area, and that's what's going to pull your leg up. That's where your strength is. You have so much strength in your abdomen, in that area there, you don't even realize it. So if you use just the muscles in the leg, you're going to fatigue. If you use this navel point, which is what we're trying to engage, it's a big difference. So this is not just, doing crunches and things like this. This is actually engaging your navel point to use that force to make these movements happen. So the next thing we're going to do is you're going to bring your left knee, so lie down on your back, you're going to bring your left knee towards your chest as your right arm comes up and over your head back to the ground, all the way down, all the way back to the ground, right, in a synchronized fashion, right. And then exhale and put it back down, and then inhale the other side, right, and just keep doing that. So you're going to do that for 3 minutes. So, and once again, what you want to do is you want to use your navel point in order to make this motion happen. You want to use the belly button area to bring your leg towards your chest. And again, once again, you can use the strength of the leg that's on the ground to make this motion happen. And you just keep going in this fashion. Now this is meant to be done a little bit quicker. Yeah, that's better. More of a fluid movement. It's like you're doing the backstroke. You're just doing it on the ground. So keep going. Keep going. Use that navel point. Yep. Nice fluid movement. Halfway. Again, using your body's ability to use that navel point area to engage all your actions. With a very strong navel point, you are able to achieve anything. You have boundless possibilities, boundless grit, and your ability to see yourself through any of life's challenges by having a strong navel point. And this is what this is creating. Not just a strong core, but again, your ability to be strong inside, to withstand the tides that come with life. 30 seconds to go. Keep going. Relax. Just catch the breath. So again, this, what we're doing with this here is it's important to maintain some relaxation in between these so that you can allow what you just did to be absorbed within the nervous system so that the glands don't get overloaded. The idea behind all of these Kriya sets and Kundalini is that we want to promote a change, but that change has to be absorbed. So there's generally a relaxation period in between each one of these for that very reason. So generally about a minute or so. We don't want to cool down too much, but you want to be able to absorb what just happened. Okay, next position is now you're going to come up into what we call in Kundalini Yoga triangle, and what in Hatha would be called down dog. So come up on your hands and your knees, kids. Yeah, you can face each other. Yep. Now, if you can, when you do this, if you can, as you're up in that position, if you can touch your thumbs so that your hands are together. And what you're trying to do is get your fleshy part of your elbow turned so that it faces forward. So what that does is that externally rotates that upper arm and it brings your shoulder blades back into a better position. So it's not easy to do because, like, watch Jess. So see, so that's what most people do. Now turn your hands the other way. See how her elbow now faces Jared? So that's the way that you want to do. So again, if you can put your thumbs like this, great. And what you're going to do is best you can, you're going to do this for 3 minutes, but best you can, you're going to come up with your heels hip width apart, and you're going to, if you can, put your heels on the ground, and you're going to straighten so that you can just hold this. And you're just going to be in this position best you can. So go ahead, get in the position.
Your heels have to be touching?
No, your heels do not have to touch because, again, the flexibility, so you're trying to keep your head in between your arms. Because Jess, her flexibility in through here is not so great, she's struggling to even be in a position to bring this in. But watch this. So Jess, now pull your belly button area up this way. See? Jared, same thing. So what you want to do Put your head in between your arms, right? So same thing. So allow this to come up. So, yes. And that's all you're trying to do. So don't struggle, but just understand that you want this to come up. So you want your belly button area upwards. If that's coming upwards, you're going to hold this properly. The idea about rotating your arms like this is what ends up happening is that you're transferring all of this weight into your scapula so that this rotates downward and pulls it back. In time, as he gets better and better at this, his back is going to start to flatten out and he'll be able to hold this effortlessly. Same thing with Jess. She continues to pull upwards this way, and she's creating for herself a very strong abdomen, strong navel point in yoga. So this is just regular breath, long, slow, deep breathing through the nose.
I don't know if I can do that.
Just stay with it. And if you can't stay with it, as my daughter just said, so if she can't stay with it, the idea is not to struggle too much. The idea is to get your body to realign. You can see that the angle of my daughter's arms is not great. So bend your knees, Jess, and you want your arms more so that they're not straight up and down. See how Jared's are angled? So you want your hands sort of in front of you. Yes, that's better. See, that's a better position, Jess, because what you're getting now is more of an angle. And it's better that your legs are bent like this and they're shaking. This shaking, I don't know if you can see that on my daughter, but her legs are shaking. That's the nervous system trying to figure out what the heck she's trying to have her body do, right? So because of the quadriceps and the hamstrings have a direct impact with what's going on in your mid-back, where her mid-back is so tight up through here, but what this is doing is this is creating that change. And that change is what we're after by holding this position. 30 more seconds, kids, that's it. Just slow, steady, deep breathing. Slow, steady, deep breathing. "15 more seconds. And everybody who's watching this video, you just do your best. If you can put your heels all the way down, great. If you can't, that's fine. You're better off pulling in, both of you right now, pull your belly button up tall. See the small shift? Don't let that go. That's what you want. Exhale, come down on your stomachs. Just relax on your stomachs. Catch your breath. So again, these two, they don't know what's going to happen to them, so they're going along with this just as much as you are. So you're actually already in the next position almost, Jared. So this is Cobra pose, but we're going to do this in a modified position. So in Kundalini, we do this generally on our arms, so that when we get into this position of Cobra, what we generally do is we push up with our arms so that our arms become straight. But what we're going to do here is we're going to come down and we're going to be on our elbows. Now what's important in this position is you want your heels to touch. Okay, so the heels have to touch the whole time. The next thing that's important, as you're down in this position, you need to get friendly with the floor, or the grass in this matter. So you want to take your pelvis and you want to push that into the ground. So the whole time you're pushing that into the ground. So for 2 minutes, you're going to look straight forward. You're going to look straight forward. You're going to push your pelvis into the ground. You're going to lift up your chest. So lift your chest high. And if it's comfortable, look towards the sky with your eyes closed. Close your eyes. Normal breathing, but keep the heels touching and keep the chest high. If you squeeze your quads, your hamstrings, your feet, and push your pelvis in, that's going to tighten your glutes. You're going to protect your lower back. You need to allow this to lengthen. So you want that belly button area to lengthen through the chest and then out through the head without compressing the lower back. So this has to come down. So this position has to come this way so that there's not a lot of arch. This is not an arching position, even though your back has to arch, which sounds like that's, what's that called? Oxymoron? Like it just, yeah, whatever. It seems like it should be opposite of what it should do, but you need to bring this way as the chest comes up high. And again, this is just normal in and out breathing. Lift your chest, push your pelvis into the floor, keep your heels together. 30 more seconds. Exhale, relax down, relax down. So that, again, that is meant to open up your chest. If once you understand about taking your pelvis and pushing your pelvis into the floor, it is the strength of your pelvis going into the floor that gives you the ability to get taller and taller and taller while your pelvis still maintains contact. Then at that point, we're able to kind of engage our arms, lock them, so that when we're in this position, we can then look up. And then what ends up happening is that your ability to get this area to open up just increases more and more and more as you hold the position. So now we're going to come lying down on our backs. And Jared, why don't you face Jess with your feet? Yep. So this is what we call a yogi crunch. So bring your feet on the floor like Jessica's, Jared. You're going to interlace your fingers, put them behind your neck. Now you're going to do this on a 6 count. So for a count of 6, you're going to come up. And as you come up, what you're looking to do is keep this belly button area and your chin, because your chin the entire time is going to stay off the ground. Just keep that contracted the whole time. So you're going to breathe in for a count of 6, and you don't have to come up very high, and then you're going to breathe out for a count of 6 as you exhale, going down, and you're just going to keep going. We're going to do this for 2 minutes. So just inhale, but don't let your head relax onto the ground, and don't use your arms to pull your head up. So ready? Go. 6, count of 6. Breathe in 6. And again, this is a very slow motion. So if I'm going to show you, keep going you two, I'm going to show these guys on video. You can see that it is not a very big motion at all. So first of all, I'm engaging here. So I'm taking my pelvis and I'm bringing it this way. I'm taking my chin and bringing it this way. And I'm keeping my head up, my elbows back. And all I'm doing is for a count of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but not all the way down. You're keeping this engaged the whole time. And again, the motion, the movement is not very big. You want to engage this position so that this and this is connected. This is what's coming together. We're not looking to come all the way up. That has to take different muscles to do that. We're not trying to do that. Once again, we're trying to stimulate that navel point. This is what we're bringing together. This motion for a count of 6. Up and down, in and out through the nose only. Keep going, 1 minute to go. Keep going. Another 15 seconds. And exhale down. Okay, now this is the tricky one. This is the one that's going to test you. This is what's called stretch pose. And for 3 minutes, what we're going to do is we're going to stretch our bodies out lying on our back as we try to engage our abdomen, that navel point area. Your feet are going to be 6 inches off the ground. They're going to be together. Your head and arm. So watch me for a second, guys. We're down like this. What we're going to do is lift up our head. You're going to float your arms either over your legs like this or on the sides. As your feet are together, they come up. This engages right here. So we're going to hold this position with what's called breath of fire. Now, breath of fire is a even in and out through the nose, but it's done rapidly. So listen. As you exhale, your belly should go in. As you exhale, the inhale, the belly will go naturally distend. It'll just happen naturally. So just watch me for a second, everybody, before we have you do this. This is the most challenging part of this whole set, right here. So we lift up and we go. Now, there's modifications for this. If this is hurting your lower back, take your hands, bring them up underneath your pelvis again so that you lift up your legs. That'll help until you can gain the strength in your navel point area. If you want to still keep your arms up, what you can do is you can keep your heels touching, but just ever so slightly. They're just touching. That's another modification that you can do. Don't do one at a time because that throws the whole system off. So you're better off either barely touching your heels or putting your hands underneath your body like this, lifting up, doing it that way, or that way, okay? 6 inches with the head, 6 inches with the feet. This is not easy to do. 3 minutes, okay? So hold on, kids. So, and feel free to get yourself a slight break, but don't let go of the breath. Keep the breath going. In and out through the nose. Ready? Go. Legs 6 inches, yep. And you're staring at your toes the whole time. This is going to make you shake, and this is not easy to do. But the idea is you're trying to flatten out your back. And once again, you can use your glutes and squeeze your glutes to make this position a little bit more manageable to do. Your neck is also going to get tired. Your nervous system is going to start shaking and changing and creating a shift. And that's what's happening with these two right now. You can see it happening. It's shifting. And that shift, and this is a strong, you should be hearing your breath. In and out through the nose. In and out through the nose. It's fairly rapid. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your upper body and your legs to go in opposite directions. Use the strength of your arms to try and touch your toes. This requires grit. This navel center, this is what we're doing. This is what I meant in the beginning about requiring grit. This is what this does, but you want to hear that breath. The navel point pumps in and out as you do this. That's 1.5 minutes already. You're halfway there. And look how much they're both shaking. This is not easy to do, but if you stay with it, you look at your toes, you keep your chin in and out through the nose. This is what makes this difficult. This breath pattern makes this difficult because, again, you are engaging your navel center in order to create this shift. Now look at them both shake. That is tremendous. That is tremendous. What they're both going through and what they're both willing to suffer through, because again, I know this isn't easy. If you need to take a break, do not use your ego to push you through this. I've done this position myself personally and ended up spraining my neck, and that's the honest truth. Sprained my neck holding this position because I wouldn't let go. Stupid. Don't do that. Took me a few months to get that to feel better. So if you need to take a breath, and then come back like Jared just did. That's fine. You've got 30 seconds to go only. This is a building process. This doesn't mean you're going to do this great the first time. This is a building process. This is not something you want to hurt yourself with. We're trying to engage our body in a different way, to engage to the point that we can create a shift. 20 seconds to go. 20 seconds. Keep going. Jess, you're killing it. Jared, you are shaking like a leaf, and that is awesome. Yes, so much change happening in you. Now inhale deep, hold and squeeze your entire body. Squeeze your whole body. Exhale, relax. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That one's fun. Right? That one is a challenge. So that's the hardest part of the whole set though. That one is the hardest part of the whole set. So don't worry. You just do the best that you can. And the best that you can is all you can ask for. But your best effort is your best effort. Nobody's going to know what that is except you. So we're going to, again, rest for a minute. Allow the breath to catch up. And now, what you're going to do is, if you need to support your lower back after doing that, then put your hands under your lower back or your hands by your side. It's up to you. And what you're going to do is you're going to, for 2 minutes, we're going to inhale. So bring both knees to your chest. Inhale and extend your left leg. So straight forward like a thrust. No, towards the ground. Yeah, right. And then exhale and switch the legs. So it's like this pumping. Exhale, right. So inhaling, exhaling. Right? 2 minutes. Go. So you inhale as your left leg is extended, and you exhale as your right leg is extended. And this is fast, powerful breath. It's like a bicycle motion. And try to point your toes. Yep. And again, if you need to put your hands under your lower back, by all means do so. There's no shame in doing that. That keeps your pelvis in the right position. What we're trying to do is we're trying to engage that lower abdomen navel point. That's what you're trying to engage. By engaging that, you're creating that shift in the pelvis so that when you stand up in gravity, or you sit in gravity, or you run in gravity, or you walk in gravity, your pelvis is going to work properly. So by the way, I didn't tell you this in the beginning, but this set is called an advanced, and it is, an advanced abdominal Kriya. So I didn't want to scare anybody off, but we're almost there. It's all downhill from there. This is the easy part. Just keep going. You got another minute. This is meant to be done powerfully. It's almost like you want your pelvis to rock back and forth. So that's how fast this should be going. But inhaling as your left leg goes out, exhaling as your right leg goes out. So it's that shift, exhaling and inhaling. It's just back and forth, back and forth. Another 30 seconds, keep going. 30 seconds. Now extend both legs 12 inches off the ground. Inhale deep, hold the breath, squeeze everything. Exhale, relax. Very nice. Come onto your stomachs, please. They're doing good, right? I told them they didn't know what they were in for. They're doing good. So come onto your stomachs. We're almost done. So what we're going to do here, this is bow pose. So once again, this looks like this is an arching position because you lie down on your stomach and you grab onto your leg. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to, once again, you need to lift up your chest. You want to touch your toes together and you're looking to just kind of just push off the ground. So you want to lift up the legs, lift up the chest and push off the ground. So for 2 minutes with normal breathing, grab onto your ankles, your shins, So, yeah, whatever you can grab. But you want to try and keep your toes together because that protects the lower back. Now, once again, you can see how tight Jared is. He's struggling. So you can see how tight he is, right? Because he's so tight in his hip flexors, what's happening is that he's already gotten an arch down here. So this may be as far as he goes, and that's fine. But Jared, so lift your head forward, yep. Now push your pelvis into the floor, push your knees into the floor. That's it, that's as far as you have to go, that's fine. Jess, same thing, put your toes together. Let me time you, hold on. This is normal breathing. Okay, so this is just normal breathing. So again, if this is, and he can relax. He doesn't have to, as long as he's even just grabbing onto this is fine. But what he needs to do is bring his toes together because that's going to take his sacrum and put it in a better position. Now, it doesn't mean that's going to be easy for him to do it. And you can't see it, but I can see him shaking. And same thing with Jess. The pelvis to gain a little bit better movement, and this is not an easy movement to do, but when the pelvis starts to push into the ground, when you take your knees, and if you push your knees into the ground, just a little bit, you don't have to push hard. But eventually what will happen is as they both start to gain a balance, because again, strength is not either one of these guys' problems. They have that in spades. They are both very, very strong physical people. Their flexibility, not so much. So what we're trying to do with them is use their strength to gain them some length out of the tissue. And that's what this is going to help to do. And again, you can just be in this position in a very relaxed way. But again, you're looking to get your chest up off the ground. But eventually what they'll do is they'll start using their lower leg to come this way. And what that will do is that will bring you upwards just a little bit. So as you lay down like this and you hold on, by pushing your pelvis in, lifting your chest, and then you start extending your legs, you slowly can come up. And that just gets better and better and better. Now, they have the same DNA as me, so the idea is that we do our best to get in this position, but everybody's body's a little bit different. So not everybody's going to do really well at this. But if you take your pelvis and push it in, you're going to be better at it. That's 2 minutes. Relax down. Turn your head to the side. Relax for a minute. Just relax. We're almost done. The reward's coming. We're almost done. So again, that's not easy to do. Most people's hip flexors, for everybody who talks about hip flexors, most people talk about hip flexors and they don't talk about the right muscle groups. The hip flexors are any muscle that brings your knee closer to your chest. That's flexion of the upper leg. Flexion, bringing it closer to you. Most people's pelvis is tilted too far forward. That unfortunately creates a shortening in the quadriceps and a lengthening in the hamstrings. So people like to say that, hey, their hamstrings are tight. Well, they're tight, but they're longer than they should be for most people. Because the muscles don't want to do that. So what they do is they start reacting by pulling backwards. They're what creates the tension, the tautness in that. They're always pulling back because they know that there's a discrepancy. The quads are shorter. So what ends up happening is that the fascia starts to bind down and keeps it in this position. So now through gravity, what we end up doing is we end up tilting our pelvis, our arms and shoulders come forward, and then too much of this typing on computers, we're just creating problems. This set helps to get you to understand not to do this, but to take this and bring this under and bring your strength here. So sit on your knees, sit on your heels, put your knees hip width apart, so there's a V. Take your arms and bring them in front of you. Put your forehead on the ground if you're able, close as you can, and just rest. This is a resting position, 1 minute. So once again, you can see where Jess is able to flatten out a little bit more, where Jared is still kind of rounding. But again, this position in time, what happens is that gravity is sinking your hip joint inside of itself. It's taking your lower back, and it's providing this gentle stretch through here as you hold this position. Gravity comes down this way. The more that your chin starts to touch the ground and your forehead touches the ground, this starts to open up. That gets this to open up. So for 1 minute, you stay in this position. Just normal breathing. Okay, now come up out of that position, and we're going to come onto our knees. So come standing on your knees. So you're up tall on your knees. Your feet, the top of your feet, are on the ground. Your toes are touching, your big toes. Put your big toes together. So a modification of this is camel pose. For 2 minutes, we're going to do long, deep breathing. So for a modification is you're going to put your hands on your lower back, and you're going to push your hips forward. That means you have to squeeze your butt, push your knees into the ground, and push the top of your feet into the ground. What that does is that starts to lift up the chest as that starts to come forward. Again, we're not looking to arch. Keep in mind, once again, we're trying to connect our chin and this navel point to bring this together. So even though we're going back, I'm going back, but they're still connected. So that they're still connected, I don't feel any of that in my lower back because my strength is not coming from me bending backwards. My strength is coming by doing this, leaning back, and allowing my chest to come up. For those of you who have the flexibility, you've done camel for a while, you can put your hands onto the back of your heels so that you're holding onto your heels like this, and you hold like this. But once again, you need to use the strength from here, and it is the chest coming this way as the head drops, and you hold for 2 minutes. You do the best you can. Modify or do it the other way I just showed you. So go ahead, kids. Whatever you can do.
Do you want your head back or
So to start with, if you can't drop your head, you can keep your chin tucked. So if you keep your chin tucked, again, we're looking to engage the navel. So if we can keep our chin tucked and engage that navel, keeping our hands on our lower back for support, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your butt, squeeze your legs, push your knees into the floor. And if you are able, allow your head to drop backwards and lift up your chest. But keep your chin and that navel point together as you come backwards. That's where the strength is. That's where you're going to find this helpful. So what this is going to do, once again, similar to bow pose, is it's going to stretch you from here. So you want the front of your body, and again, you can't see Jared shaking, but he's shaking. His nervous system is making change right here. This is a fantastic set for him. Again, knowing how strong my son is, this set is great for him. It's right up his alley. He just needs to get his body to adjust a little bit differently. Jess has got a little bit more flexibility. However, you can also see her shaking. And what she's doing, lift up your chest some more, Jess? Yes. But relax your shoulders, yes. So again, this is a position that it's a strong position to hold, but yet at the same time, it's one that you should be able to relax into. But again, this is not a back bend. Can you see how much my son is vibrating? This is making shift and a change, and that's what your nervous system needs to do. It needs to go under that shift and under that change. That change and that shift creates your ability to change and shift in life. So keep going. You got about another minute, I think. Nope, you only got 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Inhale deep, hold the breath, squeeze everything. Exhale, come back down onto your heels, sit on your heels. Now put your hands by your side this time. So now we're going to come like this. We're going to put our hands by our side, palms facing upwards, head down on the ground, forehead on the ground. For 1 minute, you're going to hold this position. And then that's it. We're going to relax for a few minutes. We're going to listen to something because, again, it's just as important to absorb what's going on as it is actually doing the movements themselves. So for 1 minute, you sit back and you absorb this position. Okay guys, now just come lying down on your back completely. This is the relaxation period. This is what they need to absorb. For 6 minutes, we're just going to relax in this position. Arms by your sides, palms up.
Hare 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 Hari Hari Har Hari Har Hari Har Hari Sushmana Hari Hari Har Hari Har Hari Har Hari Prana Apana Sushmana Hari Hari Har Hari Har Hari Har Hari
Start to lengthen your breath. Roll your wrists, roll your ankles. First in one direction, then in another. Now take your arms, reach them up over your head. Bring them back over your head, place them on the ground. Point your toes, stretch, push your lower back into the floor. Relax, bring your knees towards your chest, both of them. Squeeze onto your knees. Now extend the left leg. Put the arms out like a T. Now drop that left leg over the side of your body, let it touch the ground. So twist, nope, put your leg down. Now just twist the leg over, Jared, just touch it on the ground. The other way, other way. Put the knee that's bent, twist it, push it on the ground.
This way?
Yes, sir. Cat stretch. Just take a few breaths. Very good for the kidneys, very good for balancing the water element in your body. Now inhale and switch leg positions. You both want to tuck that knee that's bent behind the other leg. Put it behind the soft part. Yes. And then take your head and look towards the left. Yes. Just breathe. Inhale, come back to center. Take the knees once again, bring them in towards the chest. Take your hands, rub them over your chest, palms together, rub them. Now take your feet, the soles of your feet, and rub the soles of your feet together. Now inhale your knees towards your chest, but give them a squeeze. Wrap your arms around your knees, give them a squeeze. Lift your chin, put your nose in between your knees. And now rock back and forth, up and down on your spine a few times. And come sitting straight up. So that is the set, the Advanced Abdominal Kriya set for Kundalini Yoga. That is a set to help you strengthen your navel point, your navel center. That navel center, again, these are not sit-ups, these are not crunches. These are things to strengthen that navel point. If you can understand, once again, that strength comes from here, you'll go very far in this Kriya, and you're going to go very, very far in the challenge. So we're going to end this practice with 3 Satnams. And I want to thank you for paying attention. I want to thank you for participating. If you have questions on this Kriya, don't hesitate to reach out. So let's rub our hands together. Everybody sit tall, chest out, chin in. Close your eyes, and once again, bring your thumbs into your chest. Relax your shoulders, lift your chest, tuck your chin. We're going to inhale deeply, and we're going to recite Satnam, long and extended. So inhale deep. Satnam. Inhale deep. Everybody together. Satnam. Last time, inhale deep. So as always, use this to your best advantage. Become a finer version of yourself. Sat Nam. And thank you to both my children. They were wonderful. They did a great job, didn't they? So thank you both for doing that. Thank you. Sat Nam.